Alright, welcome to another Simply Diagnostics video, courtesy of www.simplydiag.net and my awesome mate Sandy Anderson. Sandy's been Caleb today. And you're not as good looking as Caleb, and you've not got a man bun either. So right, what we've got here today, we've got a 2006 Golf Mark V. Customer complaint is the tailgate won't open, the rear boot lid won't open. So we're just going to run through some very, very quick tests for you to show you how to diagnose these properly. So looking at the wiring diagram here, this wiring diagram courtesy of All Data. Okay, we've got basically our convenience unit, then we've got our latch mechanism. We've got our switch. I'll zoom in a minute so you can see it, but we've got our boot release switch and then we've got our warning light. Okay, so what we've got here now, what we need to do is, before we start pulling these things apart, all the flexes and stuff like that, and trying to find where the convenience unit's located and that, we want to test smart rather than go chasing wires and stuff like that. So the easiest place to test here is actually, it's 2 screws to get this plastic panel off. So we can do most of our testing here, and then if we need to, as a separate chargeable item, we can start going backwards, forwards in the car and going towards the convenience unit. Okay, so what we've got at the minute, what we know is we should have a ground here on this brown wire for the switch. We should have a ground there for the motor. When we close the latch over, if the position switch in the latch works, the light should go out, and also the telltale on the dash, which you can just see. Do you want to go around onto the dash, mate? Yeah. So then we've got the telltale on the dash that's telling us that the boot lid's open. Okay, so if I flick that catch over, we want to see a change of state on that. Can you see it there, yeah? Right, so if I flick the catch over now, we should see that go off. Has it gone off? Yeah, right, the boot one's gone off, so let's have a look, see whether the boot light's gone out as well. Yep, and the boot lights have gone out as well, okay. Yeah, so we know now that the 2 position switches are working on the door catch itself, and we know that that message is getting all the way back to the module. Okay, so now let's have a look at the 2 grounds and see if we've actually got a ground there. So how we're doing this, this is the Power Probe 3 extension lead. Okay, it's connected, the other end of it is connected to the battery, positive and negative. I've got me incandescent test lamp with a 4mm banana connector on the end of it, and that gives me a guaranteed power and ground wherever I'm tested. So at the moment I just want to see if I've got a ground, and or if I've got broken wires in the looms. So I'm going to connect it to battery positive, and then I'm just going to test my test equipment. It lights up, we're all good. So then all I want to do now is I want to check the operation of this switch. So I'm going to use me T-pin. I know I'm looking at the brown wire. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to pop that in there. It lights, so my ground is okay. Yeah? And now what I want to do is I want to check whether this switch is operating. So I know that's ground. If I come this side, there shouldn't be anything there, okay, until I press the switch. So if we just drop the lid down a bit, Sandy, watch your camera, mate. I'm a bit clumsy. So if I press that switch now, that test light should light up if the switch is working, and it does, okay. So I have no problem with the switch operation. The one thing I still don't know is if that signal is getting all the way back to the convenience unit. So there's another way we can test that. We can come over to the switch itself, the actual lock catch here, and we can see pin 3, the brown wire. I need to see if that is a ground. So literally I'm just going in there. Get in there, lad. I'm not forcing it in, I just want to see if I've got a reasonable ground there, okay?
Let's just see the light, Steve, again. Your hands in the way, man.
Sorry. Yeah.
Good, good.
So the only other variable now is is that signal getting back to the central convenience unit. What I can do now is I can put my back probe into pin 4 and just see if I'm actually physically getting power from the convenience unit back down to here. So the way I will do that, I'll swap over then to ground, like so. Put it on there and then operate the switch. So watch your camera again, mate. Alright, so will it light up? So it lights up, so we know now that verifies that the signal from the switch is getting all the way back to the convenience unit, and the convenience unit is sending power back towards the latch to unlock the latch. The only thing we don't know now is is that wire capable of carrying current? Okay, so what we have to do then now is load test that. If I disconnect this plug, the chances are it'll just default to a fault state. So I want to try and keep that connected if I can. So what I've got is a 21 watt bulb, just with two pigtails on it. All I'm going to do is give it a ground there, and then put it onto that pin. So this is going to be interesting. So literally, I'm going to hold it just on there, and I'm going to operate the switch. If there's enough power to light a 21 watt bulb, there's enough to activate the unlock circuit, because when we look at the wires, they're very, very thin wires, those. It's not on a fuse protected circuit, so there's not going to be a massive amount of current going through them. I think I'm pretty safe in condemning that catch. Very, very simple. The only dismantling that we had to do was 2 screws to take the cover off, and that's it, job done. So hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching. You're awesome.